going to show you how to use the Mamiya RB67 Pro. Also going to show you how to field strip it as well as load film. For starters, you flip up the waist level viewfinder, cock the shutter, pull the dark slide out. Now you can either put this in your pocket, or there's a little rivet here and a little notch here. Dark slide fits handily right there. Spin it back around. Use these large knobs on the side, they're on both sides, to focus. And then when you're ready to shoot, of course, you shoot. Now, there's a couple other things you need to know, particularly with the 50 and the 65mm lenses. If you're focusing at anything closer than infinity, you have to adjust the floating optics in the lens. This ring does not adjust your focus, it only adjusts the floating optics. And you do this by, first of all, reading your distance on the distance scale here, corresponding with either the 50 or the 65mm slope. And then you dial in that distance on the lens. It's not super critical. The manual suggests that if you're anything closer than 7 feet and you don't want to do it super critically, or if you're too rushed, then just set it to 3.3 feet. If your subject is focused at a distance of greater than 7 feet, then just simply adjust it to infinity and you should get suitably sharp pictures. Once you have actually shot the picture, it's a two-step process to recock and advance the film. You advance the film with this lever and you recock with this lever, and then you're ready to shoot again. On some backs, right now I have the Pro S back. I also have a Pro back, which is actually the one that goes with this camera. After every shot, you do have to slide this release lever over to the left before you can advance the film. With this back, you don't have to do that. I don't know if that's a defect with this particular back or if it was designed that way, but that's how I have to do it. And then you put your dark slide back in. In order to switch backs, you flip this lever to the left, as well as this lever to the left, and you can take the back off. Now, I have seen many of these cameras, many of these film backs with scrapes all along here and along here, because photographers think they slide the back off when you release the locks. This is not the case. You just take it directly off. And if you can look at this one here, camera, you can really see how gouged that is. That shouldn't be like that. Once you have the backs off, you can of course take off the revolving back adapter, like so. Although this usually stays on the camera unless you're using a Polaroid back or something like that. And then slide the Mamiya logo up to the left. This pops off, focusing screen comes out, here's your mirror. When you push this lever down, it cocks the mirror and the shutter in the lens, and when you release it, you like that again. In order to take the lens off, you rotate this collar until the red dots align. However, you can't take the lens off unless the shutter is cocked, like so. And you can take it off. And you can put another one on if you so wish, like that. Now, what you can also do, in storage, Mamiya recommends that the shutters be released on the lenses if they're going to be stored for more than a few days. To do that, you press down this metal pin, you slide this lever all the way. The lens will fire, and you won't wear out the spring in storage. Now, you are supposed to recock the shutter in the lens before you mount it on the camera, but if you don't, that's not a problem. I'll show you how to recock it. You just twist these back all the way to the red dot, not the green dot, and then let go. It'll go back to the green dot on its own. And then to release it, you do the same thing in the opposite direction. Now, if your lens... let me just put this back together first real quick. If your lens already has the shutter released, but the mirror in your body is cocked, this is not a problem. If you forget to recock the lens and it's already mounted, you're going to know, because you won't see anything through the viewfinder and you won't be able to push the lever down. Simply pull the dark slide out just until the triangle is visible. Get a close-up of that. There's a little triangle there. Pull it out until just that's visible. What this does is it releases the shutter interlock, because you can't release the shutter with the dark slide in. You pull the dark slide out a little bit and you can release the shutter. In this case, the shutter didn't actually release, but the mirror flipped up. Now the lens and the body are back in sync. You can recock, take your dark slide out all the way, and shoot. Not a problem. The reason the camera is called the RB67, the RB stands for revolving back. You can rotate the back so that instead of having to rotate the entire camera to get your portrait orientation, you just rotate the back. This is a godsend because this camera weighs a bloody ton, and especially when it's on a tripod, you really don't want to be shifting the whole thing over and unbalancing everything. All the lenses also have a mirror lockup function, which you can see here. I can get focus, probably not. There we go. It says mirror up. So when you lift this dial out and turn it to the mirror up, when you press the shutter release on the body, the mirror will flip up. Oops, dark slide. The mirror will flip up, but the shutter won't release. In order to get the shutter to release, you either screw in a cable release here, or you can just rotate this back to the red dot and it'll fire the shutter. Shutter speeds on all Mamiya lenses for the RB67 vary from a 400th of a second down to 1 second plus T. Not bulb, it's a timer mode. You fire the shutter and it stays open. The shutter will close when you either rotate the shutter speed ring back to 1 second or move the cocking lever forward slightly. And then you hear the noise, the shutter just closed there. On other lenses that we have, let me just pop this and switch one over here. The 60 and the 50 millimeter lenses have the distance scale and of course the aperture marking so that you can calculate your depth of field. You do have to set this because of the floating elements in the lens. However, on other lenses, like the 90 millimeter or the 250 millimeter or any other lens, the distance scale is purely a depth of field calculator. Setting it does absolutely nothing else inside the lens except move these numbers around. It's just a photographer's guide so that you can get your maximum depth of field and calculate your hyperfocal distance and all that sort of fun stuff. On the non-C lenses, it's a disc that rotates along the front. On the C lenses, there's a lever on the bottom here. Slides around much like the distance windows in modern SLR lenses. All lenses have a PC port for flash sync and X or M settings. M is for the old magnesium flash bulbs. X is for any type of electronic flash. The M actually has a delay of, I think it's 40 milliseconds, but I could be very wrong on that. If somebody knows the correct number, please correct me. Most of the time you'll leave it on X unless you're doing some really old school photography, but I doubt that's going to happen. And I guess I can show you how to load some film. Oh, running out of time here. Don't have time, so I'll have to do this in a second video. Thanks for watching.